my favorite part of the show every episode, which is my auspicious op ed. So I compose some words about something that I think is important and we should all think about. And if all it does is inspire you to go compose some words about something important and share them that you've been thinking about, well, my job here is done. So let's get on with it. All right. Individual personal sovereignty may have been put into question by the advent of CAPTCHA. Those weird little prompts that we have when we use the internet to check and see if we're human, like picking out how many buses or like light posts or something there is in a picture and then entering it or whatever. That's what we're talking about, CAPTCHA. But no one can doubt that it was smashed into obliteration by the implementation of two-factor authentication. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and talk about this one. This is a tech op-ed that's quite auspicious for our times. I often wondered upon first hearing about transhumanism as both a political movement and a philosophy on how on earth would like one trick the masses into adopting any desire to embark on like such a highway to hell. Transhumanism begins with the position that human beings should be permitted to use technology to modify and enhance human cognition and bodily function, expanding abilities and capacities beyond current biological constraints. Then, if that wasn't enough, guys, transhumanism ventures into using technology to control and oppress humans before its most extreme components involve attempts at using technology to achieve eternal life in either some sort of digital upload or cybernetic fusion that redefines the parameters of life, far from what most spiritually minded and just rationally minded people deem as existence. Yeah, so that's the transhumanism that we are talking about today. For several decades, starting around the post World War II era, and around the Korean conflict era, it's around that time period, the concepts that catapulted better living through chemistry decide to wrap their tentacles around computing as the next supposed remedy for all the ails of the human condition. Over time, many manners of influence and mandates have incrementally nudged many unwitting consumers into a place of manipulated consent and compliance without time to even consider evaluating alternatives and resistance to whichever product or concept the powers that be wish to peddle at any given moment. Let me give everyone a great example with 20th century computers and how they have slowly nudged many unwanted features into our hardware and software as we continue to progress through history. As much as I thought both my IBM PS1, which for everyone who's young or somewhat young, which was a late 80s desktop, and my Macintosh Power PC from the mid 90s, my opinion of those was that they were solid quality machines for their time. I did not foresee how the jump from dial up internet to early cable broadband modems, long before the days of high speed Ethernet, broadband, or Wi Fi, would forever remove the word solid and quality from my future opinions of the more contemporary computing devices that are now repeatedly updating to the point of everything being full of shoddy, self destructive features that are intentionally designed to overhaul a human dominated computing experience. You see, solid and quality construction are not very good for bottom lines, let alone providing the false promises of economic incentives that seem to only make the rich richer off the backs of everyone else in a hope of placing enough debt over the public that they are forced into some sort of neo serfdom that would help with the help of said technology that they're pushing on us, that was supposed to cause man to need to work less to achieve prosperous results geared toward more convenience and recreation. I want to make clear that transhumanism is anti-humanism, and that CAPTCHA is a highly offensive covert nudge at suggesting that you need the supremacy of a machine or similar form of technology to verify the legitimacy of your humanity. Let that sink in. If that isn't a highly abusive and manipulative psyop that they conveniently slipped on the unsuspecting public, let's look at its descendant, two-factor authentication. That's right, guys, I'm going there. Now, your human input is not enough to prove you aren't some more advanced machine. So, you need to get a special passcode from your needlessly expensive digitized electronic shackles that they have placed upon you so that you can access your own personal accounts that, in many cases, are free and don't really carry any sensitive data. This was done intentionally to condition us. Now, think about ChatGPT replacing human interaction in research. Think about Neuralink, nanotechnology, and 5G brainwave interference. Oh, and those Apple goggles, let's throw those in there. Now, think about what the metaverse and all these AI kiosks popping up to replace humans and justify discarding every human consideration in favor of their machine supremacy model and their creation's unwanted and unwelcome notions on the masses at large. Make no mistake about the predictive programming being promoted on mainstream media platforms and streaming services. They are letting us know full well what they think of us, and they are not pulling punches. It's sad to think that the message was lost on us and will just go with their flow. They like actually thought that. I think it's time to show these elitist ignoramuses the door by refusing to depend on cooperating with them in any future endeavors now that they can't stop showing all of their evil hands. Yeah, that's right. We see you guys. And that brings us to the end of today's show.